sharing your talent, sharing your soul with us.
You must think to yourself, what an egomaniac. Anyway, I'm celebrating me today. Now that, just so folks know, if you've never seen that, that was to date, one of the best days in my life doing tree work, just for the record. Like, it's top three. That day, that job. Friends, that's the video right there. It's only a 8-minute video or something. Tree faller uses big fir tree to pull over 2 trees with a Husqvarna something or other, yada, yada, yada. But it was 9 years ago, friends. If you want to have a laugh and go see this, I'm in the tree right there. I explain the whole thing. Go check it out. It's a blast. Disclaimer or warning or whatever. This is me rambling about Buckinstock, the history of it, all about it, what we're doing there. And that's what this video is. It's me chatting. So, and I can freaking talk and I'm all over the map. And if you know me, you already know that. So if you're relaxed and got a cup of coffee, or if you're looking for something, this might not be the video for you, because there's really nothing here except some information about a wonderful and glorious event called Buckinstock. Good morning, everyone. It's early. It's just getting light now. Welcome to Buck and Billy Ray's YouTube channel. If you don't know who I am, my name's Buck and Billy Ray Smith. And I've been on YouTube now for about 11 years. And I've got about 4,000 videos in the power saw, logging, tree work, firewood, axe, outdoor, love, kindness genre. That noise you just heard was someone shopping at buckandbillyray.com, and whoever that was, it is about 7:13 on the 15th of February, and someone just shopped at my store for something like that. I'm not sure, but you have no idea. You don't, because this, well, maybe you do, but the world we live in today, I'm 56 years old. And I turned on the camera about 11 years ago now. I think it's about 11 years ago. Oh, I just got a message that George bought his tickets to Buckinstock. 3 of them. I just saw the notification come on the phone. George, I'm not sure. I'll get in there. George, if you're watching this, brother, thank you. I'm so excited to see you. I have no idea why you're coming, but I hope I can fulfill your desires when you come. I hope a hug would be in, friends, when I did my first Buckinstock, so this video is about Buckinstock. So sorry, friends. So, when you're going along, doing a video and a notification comes up and says you have no storage. So that just happened. So I just cleaned out some storage on my phone and changed things up. And I was just thanking George for popping in to see Christine at buckandbillyray.com to get his tickets to Buckinstock. Very quickly, friends, I can talk. So I'm going to keep this fairly untalky if I can. Yeah, so I don't do that. It's quite talky. It's hard for me. I'll be honest, it is. It's hard for me. And a lot of people actually, over the years with this YouTube channel, if I had $1 for every time someone said in my comment sections, you talk too much, it's not an insult. So if you're trying to insult me, I'm in charge of that. Anyway, you folks know what I'm talking about. Buckinstock. We've had two Buckinstocks. One, I believe, was in 2018, I think was our first, 17 or 18. It was in Indiana. It was a half an hour down the road. And friends, I'm going to tell you something. At that time, I didn't have many subscribers. I forget how many. I could figure it out if I went back, but it wasn't that many. But a bunch of folks came to that event. The landfill rat was a big part of that. Decal actually went all out. My Decal, I love you, buddy. If you're watching, I just spent 5 days. Me and my wife went and visited Decal. We just came out of Indiana. That's where we were. And this is the power of the internet. This is the hugest gift that we have, friends. And all the stuff that goes on the internet, all the wasted time when we could be loving one another and getting strong together and actually creating world peace with the internet, but yet we decide to... I do. If I asked you right now, in this comment section, if you've ever seen me going at it with somebody in my comment section in 11 years that I've been on the internet, you wouldn't find it. And you would say, no, Buck and Billy Ray, I've never seen it happen. Because you won't. It is just complete. It's about energy for me, right, friends? That's what it's about. I'd like to spend my energy loving you, giving you love. If I receive it, great. But I want to give love. And I think that's because I want it in return. So anything else other than that, I just I ignore it, actually. I don't give it any energy. I don't bite the hook of weakness. It's like some angry, sad, unevolved human being, usually a man, throws his line in. The hook of weakness. You've heard me speak of the hook of weakness. And he's put it out with the bobber in front of you there. And if you bite, his dopamine goes up and he's been verified that this is good. I get attention by doing this. No, you don't. Not from me, you don't. You'll get my back. So that's how I look at that. Just trying to fill you in on a little of that. But friends, on YouTube, I have shown my life, my craft, and it seems to be a genre that... Oh, it's raining, honey. Yeah, I saw that. Good. We have a Scottish mist out, which will probably get rid of the snow now. We've been blessed with cold, sunny weather, but the snow stuck around. So it's been like 2 weeks. It's been a 2-week run where we got really hit with snow. We got actually over a foot of snow, friends, and it stayed. So it was kind of nice. It melted slowly in the sun. It did. The sun melted it. That's right, babe. Not the rain, which usually happens here. So anyway, listen, if you've ever been watching a Buck and Billy Ray video and you've learned something, you know my system. I'm a long bar dude, but really, the essence of everything I do, on a power saw I'm talking now, okay, on a power saw, falling, climbing, tree work, which I don't do a lot no more, but I'm on a saw a lot, starts with one thing. You're not doing any of it without the first thing. And I know we know what that is. And if you don't know what that is, it's that. It's all in the filing. Okay, friends? So I've shared so many power saw filing videos, and I will again. But there's nothing like being one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? I had a guy, I think his name was Trevor. I think it was Trevor. He was at Buckinstock 1. And friends, I'm going to tell you something. I'm just going to share this. I'm going to talk a little bit on this video. So, which is odd for me, right? So, Decal sets up this bench type of thing. You folks remember, eh? Buckinstock 1, remember? Friends, it was so uncomfortable. I show up at 9 o'clock and the first thing I see is Arnie freaking Johnson. To me, he was a gray-haired man. He was an older fella. And I see him. I jump out of the car. It's 9 o'clock. Well, it was actually 9:15. I was 15 minutes late because I lost 15 minutes years ago and I could never find it. And there's Arnie. And I'm like, hey. And he, friends, it was amazing. He started to cry. And I was like, come here, you son of a gun. And I embraced him and hugged him. He could not speak. And that's when I understood something that I hadn't seen before and did not know. I still talk to Arnie today. Arnie calls me now and again. We have conversations on the phone. He's old school. He's an old school power saw man. And I talk to Arnie. He's a wonderful man. Him and his wife. So my point is people came to this event to see me, but it was the first event I ever put on. I had a headset and I was there. And friends, here I am. I'm in the middle of this thing, and people aren't even. They're like, I would say 15, 20 feet away, all around. And here I am presenting like, like those places you go to get cooked for, and you sit up at the bench like this and you watch what they do. Well, that was me with my power saws and my files, and I was gonna, right? And friends, it was actually amazing. It was the first, I was very nervous. My family was there, my son, my daughter, my wife. Christine showed up at that event. First time I ever met Christine. And Tree Guys came. And Wayne Polson and his beautiful wife. And all these people came. Sassafras and Snowman. And they all came to see me and my family. It was crazy. I'm friends with all those people still. So, but it was very interesting. I had to break the ice. Actually, someone came up to me, bless her. She came up to me and she said, when are you going to do something fun, Buck and Billy Ray? And I'm like, oh my gosh, that felt like a lot of pressure. Fun? What are you having fun? Her name was Susan, sweetheart, and her man. I called her man John Wayne. I'll never forget it. I'll never, ever forget it. So, I thinking about it. That's why I'm having a hard time spitting the words out. It was amazing. So we had another one a few years later. Actually, I think it was the next year. But then that big world pandemic hit, or whatever you call that thing that happened. The flu came, and the world changed overnight, and that put a kibosh to all that. And then I started going to Bunions, because it's a lot of prep and money and time and insurance and people's time and to set one of these events up. Like I'll be grateful for Decal till the end of my days. Long of the short, I know this is a flapping video, but friends, I have a system that I do, and you're not going to be standing up and bucking if you don't know how to file your power saw. You're just not going to do it. It's not going to work for you. It's not going to. It may with your chain out of the box, but even then, you'll think, well, this doesn't look like what Buckin's doing. You know what I'm saying? It's all in the filing, friends. So I was horribly smashed up, but that's not the reason I stand up and buck. I stand up for buck for years. This is what I do. It's how I do it. I spent years on the logging roads, running my firewood business before I became a faller and a tree guy. I was a firewood guy. It all started for me in the firewood. So I have such a soft spot for firewood and the firewood industry. I made my living with a power saw and a pickup truck and 2 malls and an Arvika. Finally, when I got an Arvika, Mike Ironside, my buddy, gave me an Arvika. My mind was blown. I was like, oh my gosh. He gave me his personal Arvika. And that's that shiny axe that I'm doing right now. So there's a lot here. So on the logging roads, you know, you're not in big wood all the time. You're in small woods, tops, and remaining, you're salvaging what the loggers left. So a lot of it's small, but I would find the big stuff and yard them out over the, you know, the deal. So you're not going to be, my point is, you're not going to be flinging sawdust over your shoulder, standing straight backed and straight legged, unless you learn how to file a power saw. So I did a little video and I put it up on my members group, and I want to thank my members right now. When I say that word, it comes out of my mouth, I think about my members and our little members group that we have. That's available here if you want to come. There's lots of different stuff. There's early access there. We do some reading over there. We do some interesting stuff. It's a little deeper over on the members group, and I love all my members. Thank you. So I'm going to share at Buckinstock. Basically, it's three things. It's peace, love, and power saws, and everything that goes along with that. Axes, we're gonna show you the flick. We're gonna share a whole bunch of information. It's just gonna be a bunch of people together with power saws and axes, and celebrating the connection of wood and saws and axes and the simple things in life. That's Buckinstock. I'm not here to sell you nothing. I'm here to share a craft and hopefully better your life, maybe in more ways than one. So that's what Buckinstock is. I will share my system, basically my system. And it's fun doing it. It's so fun. But I'll never forget that first one. I centered out a guy. He was a red-haired fella, and he stood right out. Nice demeanor. I said, come over here. I said, how do you file? I actually had to get people to, and slowly, one by one, they started to come in. I'm not kidding, friends. It was very interesting. And then I broke the ice, and then the event started to happen, and people were racing their saws and set up in their logs and everybody, and I was tuning their saws for them and sharing crafts, and we did some undercuts and back cuts, and we talked about pulling chain versus a pushing chain, and we did ton. I cut my hand. It was so fun. So 14 minutes later, which just turned 14 minutes, at Buckinstock 2025 on June 20th and 21st. In Culver, Indiana, there's 200 spots because of the piece of land that our gentleman Danny has offered up and is setting up. And everybody that's going to help, I'm thanking you right now because I'm not there. So I'm thanking you right now. Brian Hebert, Marty Rudder, freaking Johnny McCormick, all the people that are going to show up, Sizemore, Tin Man. It's a huge team, Christine, and there's going to be some others that are going to donate their time to help this thing happen. We're going to put logs in the ground. We may even do some climbing. CJ's going to be there. It's going to be a blast. So if you want to have a good time on June 20th and 21st, come to Buckinstock. Go to buckandbillyray.com, email Christine, get your spot, and freaking let's do this. Come on down. But don't wait too long, friends. Bring your kids. The 200 spots are going to go quick. And I'm not saying that egotistically. It's just that's what's going to happen probably after the video. So I don't know how many are left now. But to those who have already joined in, thank you. I'm excited to see you. There's going to be some hugs. There's going to be some power saws, some axes. And you will leave that event. I guarantee you, you will leave that event inspired. Work hard, be honest, and be kind. And thank you for sitting here this long if you made it. And if you skip through to the end, blah, 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 it's the end. Over and out.